Blueberry.
In cereal form, that's good.
Yeah.
Not in a drink.
Oh, I wouldn't
No.
classify that as a drink.
It's just
I'd
like those blue
classify it as
Slurpees or
like a-
slushies or whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's like Vicks Formula 44D.
Yeah, oh man, my dad used to have the container right by the, he'd be sitting there watching and just, ooh.
My
Dad's
dad
doing
drinks
44D
Vicks
shots again.
44D, yeah.
apple
Tasty.
vinegar, like cider.
Well,
Because he
yeah.
gets really bad Charlie horses, so then he like will take a huge gulp and it like makes his Charlie horse go away.
I drink pickle juice. I love pickle juice.
Okay. I was gonna drink. I was gonna say I take 2 capsules of apple cider vinegar. I don't drink it, but I take
Yeah.
Tequila
capsules.
and pickle juice?
Okay, you're now being recorded, so any bad words will be recorded forever. I tried to record the thing last week. I used a lapel mic hanging from here, and you could hear lots of words, but you couldn't understand any of them. So I got a better mic. This is an omnidirectional mic, and it'll
Hey, Mike.
pick up anything you say.
Is it gonna pick up me chewing my carrots?
Yep.
It is not.
Laura recognizes Val eating carrots.
Yeah, I want to start recording them just because sometimes people can't be at the meeting, especially the Spartan people. If you're not scheduled, then you may not be here. So, and sometimes we accidentally say something important, so it doesn't happen too often. But in case we do, I want to have a recording of it. Okay. I don't have a agenda.
There you go. It's getting you on.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to turn the floor over to Celia for a couple things. A couple of meetings you have to take.
The microwave has been absolutely disgusting. We're all adults. We should be keeping it clean.
Colin, don't you touch my keys.
Colin,
The keys.
put them back. You have your own keys.
I can't run as fast as him, guys.
Good segue.
But yes, we're all adults. We know how to cover our food. If you spill something in the microwave, you should clean it. Same thing with the refrigerator. If you have stuff in there that is growing mold, please throw it away, because if not, I'm gonna start throwing things away in the refrigerator that have been in there for a very long time.
I'm just making penicillin.
Okay, well, make it in your own refrigerator, not here. Just, I mean, anything in the office, if you see that it's dirty or you spill something, just wipe it up. Like I said, we're adults. Vacation and days off. I've been getting a lot of, hey, I need tomorrow off, or hey, I need, it's Friday and I need, next week, Monday or Tuesday off, those kinds. We can't do it anymore, especially with, we're gonna start getting a lot more med runs, and I'm gonna be making the schedule the week before. So I need, days off and vacation requests, the minimum of 3 weeks in advance, otherwise I may not be able to give them to you. I understand emergencies come up, that's a completely different story, but if you're just wanting days off just because, I need that.
I was
at
gonna say,
least
what about
3
like
weeks in
funerals and
advance.
stuff?
So, that's all I have. Art, it's all you.
Yeah, you know, 3 weeks in advance.
Okay.
If somebody's dying.
Now it's time for a garage update.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Yes, it's still morning.
I had to look. I was like, shit. Never know. Anyway, so far for the month of July, we've spent $12,835. 11 repairs have happened. We have 5 in the shop now, and I assume we're going to get about 3 more in the shop before the end of the month that will get billed out for July. Budget each month is $26,679. So a lot of these repairs don't appear to be at this time that expensive, so we'll see. But anyway, yeah. So our budget, as I said before, is $26,679 per month, which comes out to $320,153 per year. During the months, I should say, of April through June, those 3 months, we spent $132,450 on 79 repairs. That comes out to $39,872 per month. So again, as everybody remembers, April, May, and June, we had a lot of expensive repairs for things that need to be done. A lot of things came due over at 100,000 miles. There's a lot of things you have to replace and what have you. So that happened. What else? We will no longer be, now with us taking over I say we're taking over, but the garage overseeing GMA now. They have 14 vehicles, and so we're not going to be doing Rush Automotive anymore. It just takes too long to go up there, drive it to Rush, then drive back from Rush. So that, as of Friday, is done. So anytime now that if they have an issue, somebody can drive up there, pick up the vehicle, drop off the vehicle that we're going to loan them, and then take it to either J&L or Topos or Dependable. It'll be much more streamlined, and we won't get charged for non-DOT vehicles having DOT inspections done on them at $60 a pop. So, all right. Going through the DOT inspections. I know we have inspections in October, but I was being a little bit proactive. We're just going to start going through them now. There's 21 different areas that we're looking at. I did send that form around to some of you. Thank you for your responses back. We're able to add a few more columns. I had taken everything that happened last year and what I received from Rush Automotive for DOT vehicle inspections and combined those items into that spreadsheet. So far, we found 87 has no parking brake. That's the one up at IGC. And in 117, when you open up the back door, the alarm doesn't go off. We also reset in 117 today, we took out the old triangle box, replaced it with a new one, and drilled it to the floor.
Actually,
got
the
rid
floor,
of,
then
right, and took out all those. Yep.
117 doesn't have a backup beeper either.
Backup beeper, okay.
They don't require them.
I was gonna say they don't have to, as long as you got lights.
Yep. So anyway, we're going through that. You're looking at the fire extinguisher, the brackets, first aid kits, all the emergency, the windows, popping the windows out, make sure the alarms are going off. So we're going through all those different things. So a lot going on with that. All right, an Ollie update. New tires are in. I took off the old ones yesterday. Good times with the tubes in them, and found out the tubes are still good. Art went out yesterday. We had ordered new tubes and liners for each one of those tires. Liners are back ordered up until like the end of August. So Art went out last night and we got tire tubes, inner tubes from tires, and put them over the top of that, and those should work. So we'll be putting those tires back together hopefully yet this week. Ted wants Ollie available for the picnic on August
Yeah, if you don't know who Ollie
Every
is,
year.
it's a Model A. It's a beautiful Model A
Yes,
pickup,
it is.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
so-
Really cool. So, new carb came in for it yesterday, and then the generator I picked up yesterday from Best Electric. Had it rebuilt, and so got those parts ready to roll and get that one put together. Right now I have 124 in the shop. The back passenger side quarter panel had some damage to it, so I'm redoing the resin and fiberglass on that to patch that and to re-strengthen it. And next week we're going to take a look at replacing that bracket that goes into there to hold it, because it's starting to crack by the seam over there. I also put the resin and the cloth on there as well, so the fiberglass on the back of that to tighten that up. I'll put another coat on after lunch, so I'll have 2 strips of fiberglass and resin on there, and I'll sand that down, let it sit, and then we're going to start on the bracket next week. So get that one squared away. All right. That one we won't have to take out. We'll just do it between routes or whatever. So also for underbody flushes, it had me a thought. And so we tried it out. And what it is I went out and got 2 10-foot hoses with 2 sprinklers on either end. If you go on the side of the garage over here, you'll see the contraption. What it does is it feeds into the main line of the hose, goes out, and there's 2 sprinklers that are on it that shoot out this way. And once you put it underneath the vehicle, you can just like a normal underbody flush, put the hot water on, and it goes under there, and you drive right over it. We set it up between the tires, and it shoots. We tried it last week, was it? Shoots from the middle all the way out to the end through the not the firewalls, but the wheel wells. It gets that all washed out. So anytime that you want to get an underbody flush, you don't have to putz around with it during the wintertime. You just have that sit out there, bring it in every night, put it out there, and then just drive up, we'll put it, and then you just drive over it real slow, just like you would, okay, it's 53, it's up in the barn. Thanks, okay? So that's, what's that? They'll need the key, so just grab the key for him. All right,
I was gonna say, he was,
what's that?
yeah, he was parked up there when I got here.
All right.
He just came out that door.
Okay, very good. So yeah, so if you can do that now, if you want to test it out or whatever, it's real easy setup, everything's set up to go. Just got to hook up to the normal hose outside, and it's ready to go. Turn on the water and hit it. I put on the hot and the cold, it gives it much more effect, blasting, so.
That'd be great for getting the salt off underneath
Right,
vehicles in the winter. Yeah.
right, so, okay, so that's done. And then Northern Tool will be here next Tuesday to inspect the lift. So they're
Okay,
coming.
good.
So, good to go. All right,
That's so funny, Chad had told me that the lift had never been inspected, I wasn't aware of that, so we got somebody to inspect it, I don't know who did it, but, we can't contact him anymore. We're out of
now they're out
business.
of business, so
So,
we'll have it
that's-
rechecked.
that was really odd.
All right.
So we had to get it inspected for real this time, I
Yeah,
guess.
inspected for real, so. Okay, thanks everybody who's been helping out, appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, there's some things that we're doing that we shouldn't be doing. Oh. I don't know how to get out of that. Get this out of the way, I guess. And do it again. That works. Well, that's one thing that somebody's doing, it shouldn't be doing, I don't know if it's a driver. But when you park in the barn, try to park as close as you can to the one next to it. And still leave room to walk through. Because if you don't, we can't get 10 vehicles in, 10 shuttles in there. We want to be able to get 5 across. And anytime you don't leave room, or don't park close, we can only get 4.
That's
If we're looking
lovely
for.
at Southern Geo, they're afraid to.
Any questions about that? I don't know who did that, but anyway, I've noticed several times where it's bad parking. And if you're a new driver, you may not know that, so that's why I put it in here.
You want to make sure that happens, winter.
That's how you do it. Oh, what's this? Oh, Q strengths in the floor in an area where it's a trip hazard. I don't know if you can see that, but there's one right here. It's a trip hazard, and these 2 back here are trip hazards. When you finish with the shuttle, take those up, put them in the black bags, because you may know it won't be a trip hazard because you know what you're going to do next time with that shuttle, but you don't know who else is going to be using it next, actually. So it could be anybody, so just take it up. We don't want anybody falling,
I know,
getting
like
hurt.
with that one, the top one, I slide it all the way over.
What?
So that it's all,
Slide.
slide it all the way over, so it's out of the way, over by the other one.
Yeah.
And then I take
Could
2
do
little
that.
ones out.
Yeah.
Slide.
You could just take this and slide over if you don't put it in the bag.
That's
That
what I do
works.
too, I slide it over,
As
so.
long as it's out of the way and somebody's not gonna trip on it. I've had clients trip over one that I'd left, so I know it's a
I've had them trip
problem.
over the tracks themselves.
Yeah, even the driver can trip over these, you know, so. Okay. Now, this is another example. There were several, is why I decided to bring it up, because I didn't really, on this, I got a strap hanging behind the seat. Anything that's loose like that is a projectile in a wreck, so don't do that, please. There's a place, you can hook it to the shoulder strap if you want to keep it off the floor.
I think that's more of a
and
trip hazard.
Instead of unhooking it, you can just hook it to the shoulder strap and it stays off the floor. So it stays clean that way. Alright. Okay, any questions about any of that?
I think that's more of a trip hazard. I've tripped more
Oh,
doing
that?
them
Yeah.
than when they're on the floor.
Well, actually,
Keeps them out of the way.
if you're not using, there's no chair in there, these are supposed to be all off the floor.
Well, in the back it's fine, but when they do it in the third one, it gets in the way.
You mean this one?
No, in the front one.
Oh, the front one, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
do that, it's more of a trip hazard than anything
Well, the
because
front
you're
one.
tripping over that. If
Yeah.
it's on the floor flat, you're not tripping as easy.
To the doors though, so.
I said the back ones are okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying the
It's
one in
that
the
third
front.
one, that one on the front one. Here's the front, here's the side. That third one.
On the three
middle left
loaders.
right there. On the middle left right there, Al.
This one you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that should be taken up anyway.
no, the one up there.
Yeah, the middle
How
one.
they have
Right
it
there.
strapped up like
Oh,
that,
here?
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It becomes more of a trip than anything.
yeah. Then take it up.
Yeah.
You know, anything you think's a trip hazard, just take it up and put it in the bag, and then there's no problem. DOT says they should all be up anyway, so. Okay. My operating system's having some kind of trouble with this PowerPoint and the recording at the same time. It doesn't like it, so. Okay. All right, what's next here? Bungee cords. We need to keep everything out of, tied down, lashed down. It can't be loose in the vehicle. If there's anything that's loose in the vehicle, we don't want it that way because it becomes a projectile in a crash. We're making sure all of the fire extinguishers and first aid kits are fastened down in the shuttles. But we don't have a solution. I guess we talked about a solution for the walkers. They shouldn't be loose in there either. Nothing should be loose. But so far, we don't have a better way. But I got these bungee cords. I remember last time we talked about that. I wondered whether a bungee cord would be strong enough. But I did some research, and yeah, if anything that'll hold 10 times the weight of what it's lashing down is safe. And these will hold 10 times the weight of a walker. So I got 10 of these. They're adjustable. You can pull this out and then adjust it to whatever length you want. I decided to do this instead of getting a bunch of different lengths ones. So anyway, there's 10 of them here. You can have one or two in each shuttle. And see how they work out for lashing down the walkers. When you put them in the front, it'll hold 2, sometimes 3, depending on the walker. And you can lash them down to the pole so they don't go anywhere. So try using them and see how they work out. And if we need something else, we'll think of something else. And I know some routes have more than 2 or 3 walkers, say a lot. So sometimes you can lash a walker behind the last seat before the lift. There's room in there, but not always, depending on the shuttle. But you can usually get one in
Most
there
of them, yeah.
and lash it down there. So anyway, I'll try that out and see how it works. If you have any better ideas, let me know. Car washes.
I'm starting those after
Oh.
meeting.
Vehicle wash, right here. Yeah, we went over this last time. We got a little screen here. When you, as a driver, when you get into your screen, this is what it looks like. You get to the calendar, of course. Put this online. We usually go to the day. And, well, anyway, the little menu up here, you can click the menu, and one of the options is vehicle wash. It comes up. And I'm just going to review, just so everybody's aware. It gives you a list of 30 1, I think it is, vehicles that are small enough to go through the wash here at Griffin. We got them sorted by the number of days since it's been washed. And the ones on the bottom with the blank haven't been washed at all. So what I'd like to do is get all 31 of these vehicles washed every month. All right? So just when you have free time, pull up this list and look at the next one on the list. And if it's from a home, I've got the name of the home, the phone number of the home, and the access code here for the house if you need to get in to get a key or get in the garage to get the vehicle. I've got the name of the RM and their phone number, their cell number, so you can call them and let them know you're coming to get the vehicle, ask them, make sure it's going to be available. If it's not available, then they'll let you know when it will be, maybe. Or go to the next home, call them. Anyway, the point is to get them all washed every month. They'll last a lot longer that way. We got 90 vehicles or so, and we want them to last as long as possible. There's a lot of it, capital purchase, a lot of money tied up in those. So, and the cleaner they were kept, the longer they're going to last. So if you drive it through the wash, just click the button washed, and that'll record that you washed it and the date, and put it on the list here and it'll be updated. So I'm moving, after the meeting, I'm moving a new version of the system in, and in that version, the name of the person who did the wash is there, so you get credit for it. Any questions of that? Okay. Also, something else I was going to show. The staff meetings, I'm going to review that. I'm trying to record every staff meeting, and if there's something we show on the screen, I record the screen also. And from the menu, you can get 2 staff meetings that are all listed here. The date of the meeting, the agenda. If it's an audio recording, you can click there and listen to the recording. Meetings normally are only not any more than 30 minutes, so not a lot of your time. But if you do, make sure you're clocked in when you listen to it. And I've also added a video icon on when it's going to move in after the meeting. It'll be a video icon, so any videos will be available also. Any questions about that? Okay, as of August 1st, we're going to be launching our new venture. And it's always exciting to launch a new business, and at the same time very risky because they don't always work out. We've got so many things going for us in a positive way that I think we'll be very successful. And we've got a real opportunity to make a huge difference for St. Coletta financially by bringing in some additional revenue. It all has to come together correctly, the right way, in order to go smoothly. It won't go smoothly, it never does, but you can prepare as much as possible, and we're pretty prepared. You got to have the people to do the work, and we've got enough drivers to begin bringing in business. You got to have the software foundation to support the operation, and we're not really totally done with it because it has to be really solid and stable and complete in order to deploy and start using it. And it's pretty complete already, but we haven't used it enough to find all the bugs. And the way I develop software is different than anybody I've been able to talk a few people into doing it this way, and they've done real well, but generally IT people will never develop software this way, and that is to become familiar with a business as much as you can, and then write something you think will work for them, and then have them start using it. When you start using it, then you'll find things that you missed, things you didn't think about, or bugs, or whatever. So you go back and do another version of it, and put it in, and you do the same thing. You keep working at it until you don't find anything you missed, and you don't have a better idea. Sometimes when you get to a certain plateau, you have visibility to the next increment, you know? Or you wouldn't think about it until you start using it and think, oh, yeah, this will be better if we do this. So it keeps going like that until eventually you decide it's done. And that's when you're done. When the business who's using software decide we don't need any more, it's perfect, we like it the way it is, that's when you're done. So we're not done yet, but hopefully we'll get there soon. We have to get there soon. We got just about 3 more weeks before we're going to start using this in production. And we'll find a few bugs yet, but there's a lot there. There's a lot of functionality, and I think there's enough that we can scale up to the volume we want and have the software support it successfully. As far as drivers, we're continuing to hire drivers all the rest of this year. We're going to keep hiring drivers, all the good ones we can find, because I think we're going to find enough business to keep everybody busy. We'll find out. We're going to have a press release probably the week before the end of the month, or last week of the month, a press release announcing our new service. And the big tagline is going to be, it's very memorable, right? That's why I can't remember it.
On time or it's free.
A ride on time or it's free. Yeah, thank you. A ride on time or it's free. It is, and that's true. There's a tremendous demand for rides by elderly, disabled, and special needs that's unsatisfied, unmet. So I think there's a lot of business. And if we let them know that if we're late, it'll be free, they'll probably try us. That's their number one complaint about the services they get now, is they're not on time. So we're solving that problem for them. So we'll see.
And if you're late and we have to give it to them for free, it's coming out of your paycheck.
Yeah,
Just so you know.
that's right. So the trick is never be late. Always leave early so you'll never be late. 30 minutes early is better than 1 minute late.
When you're saying this is that you're gonna arrive to the pickup place on time.
To the pick up on time. Because that's,
Not necessarily to their destination.
oh yeah, right, exactly. We don't guarantee that. Because the level of anxiety goes up. The closer it gets to the time you're supposed to be picked up. Like if you got a doctor's appointment or you gotta go to the airport or whatever, your anxiety goes up. I've been there many, many times, going to the airport. Call a limo and they're, if they're gonna be on their time, it's 5 minutes late, and my golly, you get really anxious when they're 5 minutes late because you're gonna miss the flight. So anyway, that's what we're guaranteeing is the pickup time. Yeah. All right, I want to show you something because as soon as the meeting's over, I'm going to move this into production, and you'll see some things that I want you to understand what they are. So I need to. One of the things we had to do for this service is have everyone sign a contract. All of our writers sign a contract. Art Young, who takes care of insurance, decided that when we start providing this service, we can't look like a taxi cab service, or else our insurance premiums will go up a lot. So in order to keep that from happening, we're requiring 24-hour advance reservation and that they sign an agreement, a transportation agreement. Supposedly that will get us by. So I'm going to show you how the transportation agreement works. We're going to add a trip here. I'll make a credit card. You see when you select credit card, this little box appears in red. The red means the credit card number isn't on file yet. So. Okay, we select a rider. We're going to execute a trip and get around to run the route, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as a statement. You'll notice already that the fact that we're creating a reservation we've got a little box in the corner here that is highlighted in red, and that's a PDF. That's a symbol for PDF. And it's highlighted in red because that's supposed to be the contract, and it isn't signed yet. All right. I just let Celia know there's no contract signed. So we'll pick a writer. No, Bonnie Bennett. Good old Bonnie Bennett. And transport her tomorrow. Pick her up at 1 o'clock. Take her at her location, which is Jefferson. And take her to the park. And the park will be in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And she'll get there. Just a one-way trip. Okay, and we'll do a quote. Cost will be a mere $2,300. Okay, and we'll sign a driver.
That's for a round trip, right?
No, just one way. It's just going to stay there. Okay, we're done. That's the reservation. Now, Bonnie Bennett here. We will click this gear, which means it will create a trip, create a route, and it'll go on my calendar. All right. So now we'll go to drive a route. And this is what you normally see. This is all your schedule for the month, at least what's scheduled so far. Click the day. It's tomorrow. So there it is, Bonnie Bennett, 1 o'clock. I click on it. It tells me I should leave at 12:56. I run the route. And what's different here is you see this red word agreement, all right? That means this writer needs to sign an agreement. And it'll come up on your iPad. So you click on this red button and it'll bring up the agreement to be signed. And it'll all fit on the iPad screen. It's just a one-page agreement. And they just have to sign it here. They can put an X, whatever they want to put. An X, their initials, or write their name. You can do it with their finger. Don't need a stylus. This is Bonnie Bennett. It's kind of hard to do with a mouse. Okay, then you click Save. And that's it for your part. But I want to let you know that it's there and what that means and how to do it. You just pull it up and have them use their finger and put their initials or whatever. They can read it if they want. I don't know how we're going to do this. You can read it to them. I don't know. That's something we got to do. I don't know how it's going to work out. We'll see. We'll try it a few times before we have to do it for real. Okay.
So is that the only portion of this that the driver has to do?
That's the only thing you have to do.
Well, you have to run the route.
Well, yeah, okay. Okay, I got that, but I'm just, so all the preliminary stuff where you're going back and forth and putting my
No,
marks
that's
there,
stuff that I would
that's
do.
the stuff
That was all Celia making the reservation.
So all we have to do is make sure we get them to sign that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that's
I'll
the
bring nail
document, right?
polish.
That's what it is, okay.
And only if it's in
Yeah, all my
red.
nail polishes.
If it doesn't come up in red, then they've already rode with us, or their family, or their
I
organization
suck
already
at
signed
being-
a contract.
So this route that we just
Well,
did,
they're like 2 weeks away. Well, it's also like that's why I just get my nails.
Oh, I didn't
done,
complete
so
it.
it's not long. But the army's particular.
so it's
about
in,
that. You only have certain
schedule
colors,
still.
certain lengths, certain shapes.
there it is. If you pull that route, the reservation that we just created, up, now this little PDF icon is not circled in red anymore because it's been signed. So you can click on that and it brings up the document with the signature on it, the name, all that. So,
Sorry.
all right, so that's how that works. Now, you're also going to be, initially I decided we'd just do credit card because that's easy. And I think most people will pay credit card. But our number one priority is customer satisfaction. If they want to give us a check or cash, we'll let them do it. That means you may have to, you may have to take a check, all right, and you may have to take cash, but you'll know about it ahead of time. You think it's a bad idea?
I believe you should just go credit card, be done with it. Make it simple, don't have your driver's kids.
Some people don't have credit cards though.
Oh yeah, then we'd have to get the square.
That's to be collected by somebody else, not your drivers. Then you're turning into a taxi service. I know, if you want to stay
Yeah,
away
but
from
I've
the
done it
taxi
before and
service,
I'm
then the
usually the one that,
insurance.
I'm the one that does major med rides, so I've done it
Yeah.
before.
And also your
It
departure
doesn't
time.
happen very often.
Yeah, I think most people will have a credit card. Either that or there will be.
There
an-
are once in a while where they don't have a credit card, so they have no other choice but to do cash or
And I will
check.
tell you guys when they're gonna give you cash and how much they're gonna give you, because I would give you a handwritten receipt to give to them. And then you would just, I would tell you where to leave the cash.
J and L or Brad J and L.
If I wasn't gonna.
You want to take it? Yeah.
And are you working in any extra time into your departure time to make sure, I mean, since it's arrive on ride or free, that you best be damn sure that you're not cutting it exact?
Well, right now, there's no extra time. It uses the Google time to tell you when to leave. So there's nothing built in.
Well, is there any way to build that in? Again, or else
I can
you
build
get
it
in
in.
situations.
But I'm just
Yeah,
trying to,
if that's your whole business model to get there in time. Why cut it tight?
Fucking
Right.
snap his knees up.
I agree.
Just know to leave early.
Like 10 minutes.
Just know to leave, yeah, just see, go 15 minutes.
That's why I told them, like tomorrow, it says, for the zoo, it says it takes 23 minutes to get there, they want us to leave at 9:07, well, let's leave at 9.
Right.
A little before. It's on the interstate, there's, you know.
But yeah, we talked about this before and then finally come to the conclusion, use your common sense. You got to get there on time or early. I couldn't come up with an algorithm because some pickup times are 20 minutes away, some are 5 minutes away. So what do you add to the departure time to get there right?
So hopefully it doesn't become an
hour.
issue with your
Sit
schedule,
there
with
for
your
an hour.
schedulers.
Right.
That they see, oh, that person's gonna be back this time, or else,
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yeah, that's one of the things we'll find out when we get going. We'll learn a lot when we get going.
as you go.
Okay. That's all I have.
So yesterday, I had Journey Parade in with Pat. Pat thought he was shadowing me. He didn't know he was driving.
Oh, he didn't know?
No, so I picked him up. He parked his vehicle we were supposed to leave at half hour before.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, right, before we got to Journey 21, right? So he gets here, I pick him up from his truck, I said, let's come on, I'll drop you off over here, so I dropped him off. He goes inside, and he drops off, right, he grabs something, he drops something off here, like his pad, like it was, but he comes outside, and I said, let's go, I'll drop you off at your truck, at your shuttle. Oh, okay. So I said, you're driving? Oh, I am? So that's delayed us a few minutes. But, so, long story short, we get there, we're like 5 minutes late. But they were still, as usual, they wait for the kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he didn't know what to do. So I had to walk him through everything before I actually started driving, which was fine. At least he learns pretty fast. And then, I noticed the iPad itself, you revise that though, right?
Yeah,
for the names.
yeah,
It comes
names are
just
there.
fine.
Yeah,
But then for the drop off, you drop off, then there's no other line for the, when you pick them up again. Because yesterday we went to the dock house, then we went to the library after that. So there's no
Multiple
pickup-
stops,
There's no
yeah.
drop off, pickup,
Mhm.
lines for that.
Yeah, Celia can put in the multiple stops now as far as the quote,
Right,
the cost, but I don't have the software written to add the extra stops to
Right,
the
right.
trip yet.
but then when you drop them off there, you got that there, but then you don't have to pick them up.
Right. They
So
don't
it's
have
like, what the heck, so I just have to blink. I didn't,
Yeah,
I didn't,
yeah, that's what you gotta do for now,
yeah.
until I get it in there. Yeah,
So I figured you're working on it, so I'll leave it
Yeah.
there.
okay. Okay, anybody else have anything? All right, thank you very much.
Sure.
Well, I think right off, just to let you know, take a look at all the